I
music.
like the new backgrounds, dude.
Yeah.
Dang, you got creative this week.
Yeah, I was there we go. Make sure everything's working now. Can you hear me
Yeah, you're
there?
good. I hear you. Do
Okay.
you hear me this time?
Yes. All right. So,
Okay.
but beforehand, anyway, we've had some technical difficulties this week.
Seriously.
Serious difficulties. But appreciate everybody tuning in. It is Sunday night, 7:30ish.
Yeah.
Y'all know what that means. Here along the Panhandle, it's time for the Panhandle Fishing Report. I'm your host, Smitty, and from Smitty Surf Fishing, and with me always is my co-host.
Hey, everybody. It's Demo from Finding Demo's Surf Fishing Podcast. Welcome to the show, finally. I am sorry for the anchorage known as my computer. We apologize for our tardiness. UA burn us. It's been one of those nights, but we got a good show tonight. It is packed full, so I hope you got popcorn, drinks. You already went to the bathroom and you're ready because we're going to be here a minute.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. If y'all saw
Yeah,
the promo thing, it's wintertime surf fish or wintertime fishing in general. And we're going to discuss a lot when it comes to wintertime fishing here in the Panhandle. Our show notes are like 4 to 4.5 pages long here of things to talk about and go to. Yeah, I told Brian, I was like, hey, when I send these to you, don't be shocked because there's a lot to talk about. And then he still has to add his stuff in there.
Yeah.
Brian, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Brian. By the way, everybody, so yeah, the viewership's going to be a little weird tonight because we're only in two places. This is we're right from the Panhandle fishing report page only. We're no longer streaming to all the other platforms. We've only gone out there. We told you guys make sure you got your live notifications turned on because this is home. This is where it's going to be. We're going to get all the comments in one spot, one stream for everybody to follow, for all of us to talk. It's going to be pretty good here. So if you want, hey, share it out from your feed. That way people know, oh, wait, the show is on and it's on here, and we'll happily jump in. So because I'm in jacked up audio mode right now. How is my audio? I didn't even get to do a sound check with you.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm no longer the Decepticon.
No, that was pretty funny though.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny for us and for the guys in the green room there, but it was not funny for for Brian, who was trying to figure it out. We were. It's frustrating when that stuff happens. I mean, frustrating to say the least. I know. Because normally, and as I was telling the guys when you were resetting everything, I was like, normally it's me, so I don't feel so bad now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been one of those ones. I mean, granted, I'm in a new location. I'm in a super new, comfortable chair. I've had a little bit of changes here. I got family in town, so my office has moved into this. And yeah, this is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna work on this to become the new norm. We'll get that out of my face a little bit there though, because that's just funky.
Pretty good. The audio's pretty.
Yeah, it's nice, dude. I'm glad we're here. We got a lot of fun stuff to really get into. Winter fishing is definitely in full swing. T Blake, thank you much, man. Appreciate it, Brian. Good to see you. Real Coastal High, Saltwater Yankees. Oh, Frank's on. Yeah, nice. Jim's on. Brian's on. So we got a ton to go over, and we're just we'll do our best not to squirrel. And we do have sponsors in the green room staring at us, so we kind of got to somewhat make them happy.
Justin Reed Fishing, what is up, buddy? All right. Okay. First of all, this week's show is sponsored by Green Get 'em Rigs. Green Get 'em has you covered on all your rig and bead needs, from the original Green Get 'em to the Pink Pound 'em to the Orange Crush 'em beads. These things catch fish. Go check them out at greengetemrigs.com. And starting today, I believe, through the end of the month, the 31st, if you use code Santa Fishes, all caps, save you 20%. Cliff is
really Cliff
out there. Yeah, 20% on all of the stuff through the end of the month. So that's awesome. And there's a couple updates to our sponsors and the discount codes that we'll be announcing when we get to them. So there's a lot of stuff that they've graciously offered and putting on for the show, and we appreciate them greatly for that.
Oh, it helps.
There's a bunch of cool stuff, so stick around for those.
I apparently had the 12-3 show notes up. I'm like, that's
yeah.
not what the 12. That's not who. What? That's not where. Oh, it's on that day. Oh, it's a whole week later. I'm not having a good day.
Did you get out this week and do any fishing?
God no. God, no. Dude, every time I have looked at my fishing rods, I actually feel like less of a man because I walk by them and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Mm.
I've actually went out and literally touched the 7-foot dagger today to at least make myself feel better about being an angler. I was like, don't worry, I love you.
Don't worry.
Forgot.
We'll get out soon. We'll get out soon.
Yeah, it's soon. I will absolutely. This
Yeah.
weekend was not conducive. I was actually expecting the weather to be significantly worse today.
Mhm.
However, I was not expecting the wind to do what it did. So, today was definitely not a good day to be at the beach. You could have kayaked a little, but I think you would have gotten tossed around a bit. Boats, you would have been in the same boat trying to stay on position. So I don't think today would have been an amazing day.
No, it was, and looking ahead at next week, it's doing the same thing. But
Oh, dude.
this this past week, if you could get out the first part of the week, you were doing pretty good. There were some windows of opportunity
Yeah.
as we started drawing down. We got out Thursday night, I think it was. And I was telling Rob from Rogue Reels back there that, and I think I mentioned it to the group. So I wanted to go drop some baits. I got some new rigs from Rob. I needed to go out and get the Swell Pro out there and run some baits and stuff like that. And Jack happened to be working, so um, Jack says, "I'll come join you at the beach when I get off work." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I'll go out there and get everything set up, get the baits run, and I made the first drop at about 350 yards and dropped it there. And then I let it sit for a minute, and I'm like, it's getting dark. Like clouds are rolling in. I'm like, man, maybe I should just go ahead and run the other one. I'm gonna drop that one at like 550. So, I got plenty of time. Nothing's gonna happen. Jack should be on his way right now, so we're good. And so I went ahead, rigged up the other rod, ran that out to about 500 yards, and just a little over 500. Bring everything back, get everything set up. And as I'm getting ready to light a cigar and crack a beer, because I'm like waiting, I was like, okay, Jack will be here soon, and we just kind of wait for the bite now. And all of a sudden, something picks up my short drop and just
Of
hauls
course.
butt with it. Yeah, and I'm there by myself. And I'm like, shit, not what I want it to happen. But so I go ahead and let it run. I harness up, uh, let it run, get ready to start it. And when I set the drag on it and really set the hook, it was a big fish. I thought it was a monster.
I'm
I'm
in
like, I'm
danger.
like, yeah, I'm I'm here by myself, harnessed in. This is probably a 9 to 10 foot shark, and yeah, I hope Jack shows up soon because I'm gonna need some help. And so he does. I'm fighting it, and reeling it in for a while, and he comes running over the sand dune and stuff. We finally get the shark in, and we both look at each other in great disappointment. Um, and it was a foul hooked 6.5 foot sandbar shark.
Oh,
Um,
no.
Huge disappointment because this thing fought, and you would have thought we had a monster on it, right? And but and I'm gonna plug Coastal World Wide here, Dylan and Blaine. If you have seen their latest video they did with the underwater
Yes.
eatage footage of how the shark eats and stuff like that, it made 100%. Uh, I understood why he got foul hooked the way he did
Yep.
in that thing. And it goes back to, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what you think you know until you know it. Does that make sense? So
Oh, that makes
it
sense here.
and after seeing, you wonder sometimes why. Okay, you get this huge run, and then they just drop it. Like, what the hell's going on? Why does that happen? You've been out with me when that stuff. Uh, when that happens, we get those huge runs and we get ready to set it in, and all of a sudden it just drops, and you're like, how does that happen? Now I know. Now, after
Now you
watching
know.
that video, now lots of people should know. So if you haven't seen Coastal Worldwide's latest video they put out, it's like 41 minutes long. So it's a 24-hour soak that they did, and they filmed a lot of it, and it's great. The underwater stuff comes in about 28 minutes, um, if that's what you want to see, and then there's some more stuff towards the end of the video as well. But it was eye opening to see all that. But yeah, somebody
Gotta
who's it?
go
Chip
ahead.
saying shark fishing 101. Yeah, absolutely. I should have waited, but I was impatient. I wanted to get the baits out.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's fishing, dude. I mean, why do you want to sit there? You could have cracked the beer in the smoke, but then you have to wait for the smoke to sit and get all
Yeah,
your stuff out while you're sitting there smoking. No, no, I get
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, it was, but anyway, it ended up being great, and that was the only one. We only stayed till, like, 7, so I dropped at 5, we left at 7, we caught the 1 shark, and it
Nice.
was a good night, yeah. It wasn't a
Well,
2-foot sharp nose JC.
Barry, good to see you. So you were out there. Yeah, they did a good one on their
Yeah,
24-hour soak, getting out
yeah,
there, getting
that's
on
right.
it. So, chunking a big old piece of bait out there for the friggin' giant fish. God, I can't
Chunking a
wait to watch
mullet,
that
man.
again. I missed that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just yeah, too bad it wasn't mullet. That
I
would
know,
have just that would have completed the trifecta for the whole bit. Ah,
absolutely.
man. God love you, Bob. God Bob the garbage man. God love you, man. You're a good dude.
Yeah.
One day you'll
It,
answer our email.
we're gonna have to send him another one. We have to send him
Yeah,
another
it
one. I
might
think he
have to be
thinks
a
it was a
video
joke.
message. Here, I'm
I know.
talking to you. I'm on video. I don't know what more you want. I've called you out by name. You're up there in the north. Just come on the damn show and talk about chunking. I'm not asking much.
Exactly. No. East
I
Coast
won't even cut
chunking,
you a line.
West Coast chunking, it's all chunking, man. Chunking's chunking.
Oh man. So let's get into this wintertime thing. And
Yeah.
wintertime fishing along the Panhandle of Florida can be a rewarding experience as the cool temperatures bring about the changes in the fish behavior and the patterns. Panhandle region offers a giant variety of fish opportunities in both fresh and saltwater environments. And here are some tips let's talk about these and examples for winter fishing in the Panhandle. What you got on the offshore, sir?
Yeah. Offshore. So wintertime is a great time for catching big fish, right? Conditions are right offshore. And we're not even going to get into the report yet. This is just straight up wintertime fishing that we'll start talking about. But it light winds, the north winds blowing everything calm. Now you don't want to run too far out without paying attention, but the light north winds that we tend to get wintertime make it great for you to run out and check everything. Grouper, snapper, kingfish, Spanish mackerel, bonita. If you wanted to load up on bait, bonita right now, load your freezer down. Um, and blackfin tuna. Now, grouper and snapper are not in season, so you can't harvest them. However, if you wanted to go scout some spots to see where they're holding, now's the time to do it because you are going to catch some monsters while you're out there. Um, to use our buddy Mark Coates's phrase, it's CPR season. Catch, photo, release, because you're going to get your monsters, send them back down. You know where to come back to. If you want to do some exploring, now's your chance to do some exploring. There's little fishing pressure, so the fish aren't going to be as scarce in those areas. Go out there and check them out. If you got reefs, chicken coops, whatever that you've been wanting to go check out, go check them out now. Now's the time to do it. You're going to know that they're out there. Look for them around any, artificial reef structure, things like that. Bait and lures this time of year. Live bait when you can find it. Pinfish for the grouper and snapper. You can always load up on pinfish. Um, Trolling artificial spoons, diving plugs, especially for the kings and mackerels. Bottom fishing, live or cut bait. Again, high speed trolling with cedar plugs, things like that. Your tuna are going to be attracted to those. Um, Time of day this year, getting out in the winter that you're going to go fish. Unlike other tuna species, blackfin, you can catch them throughout the day, but your best um, they're more active in the low light conditions. Just ask all the kayakers and pier fishermen here in Navarre. They'll tell you just before first light and just about dark, and that's when they start coming to life. They're not going to be as active during the middle of the day. You can still catch them. Not saying you can't catch them, but if you want to really get on them, you got to be out there before first light and then just after first light um, to really get on them. The other species, your groupers, your Spanish, your kings, everything else, you can wait a while. There's no sense getting out there at first light. Let it warm up. Let it get a little um, uh, let it get a little warm out there, and then head out there because it's still pretty chilly. Um, yeah, conditions during the winter they can change quickly, so make sure you're paying attention there to the forecast. Trying to think of what I was trying to say. Forecast. Yeah. So just because it's cold doesn't mean the fish ain't there. This is your time when you want to go exploring, marking spots, finding spots, and really get on them in the offshore. And you want to have some fun, hell, troll out there on your way out. Um, Drop a few lines and then head out that way. You never know when you're going to come across a school of something.
And the
Anyway,
offshore game,
that's
in
the
my
offshore.
opinion, winter is even it's I don't want to say it's better,
Mhm.
but I mean, if it to me, you could be playing a little bit more on the productive, especially on the next one. I mean, let's talk about the
Oh
inshore.
yeah, and sure.
Inshore game with the winter one, redfish and specks. I love them. Love it, love it, love it. Those vampires are out there and running. And reds, yes, you can catch them all year. Sure, I get it. No problem. Trout, sure, you're the best angler out there. Not even questioning you. That being said, the winter one is a little bit more fun because if you get out there, you can really play into the different game. Now, keep in mind, weather temperature, like Mike was saying, that's going to play a little bit more of a factor here, especially if it gets cold enough, they're going to get lethargic. We talked about that a lot last year, and we're talked about it in the summer. So, what you're looking with reds and the specs, you're looking at the shallower water, if you will. You could still throw at the grass lines, you could still throw those pieces, but don't forget the flounder, the little flatty, a pretty little thing. Yeah, it is. It's gonna be nice, and you can get after them. And now, I mean, the spawn season's over. Now we're back in the catch season. Life is good. So, a big piece on that one. Going in with the soft plastics, shrimp imitations, live bait work, great for reds. We know that in specs. They love those shrimpies. They never am sad about it. You can get a small pin. Maybe you can get in there and get on that one. Me personally, you're gonna find me using either fish bites, boxer series. You're gonna see me out there with the paddle tails and the curly tail. I'm nailing in with those. I love those. I love the scent. I love the presentation, the color, and the color is also something to pay attention to with depending on your water conditions. Jigs, live minnow are great for flounder. Bun is a wonderful angler to follow if you haven't when it comes to flounder. He gives you some really good information on how to do it, what he's doing, how, and he just talks you through it. Location wise, grass flats, oyster bars, mangrove shoreline for reds and trout, throw at it. The old weird adage, when we're kids, we're fishing from the shore, we're throwing to the middle of the pond, and then we're bringing it back. And yet we get in a boat, we're throwing at the shore and bringing it back to the boat. It's counterintuitive. I get it. But it's how the game gets played. So throw at those structure, work it out, start getting that pattern down. However, don't be the one throwing it in the exact same spot at the exact same location, the exact same time, each and every single time, and retrieving and expecting a different result. Some weird definition. I don't know. I think it starts with an I. I think it's called insanity. Change it up, move around, change your speed and your depth. Those are all factors to play with. Flounder, they love near structure, docks, and bridges. You can't go wrong with structure. Tides, pay attention to the tide. It really does influence the fish movement in shallow waters. We have one tide here, sure, but you all know if you fish on the inshore here, where's the tide come in? Pensacola, Destin, Pensacola, Destin, and Panama City. Big inlets, right? That's all that water's got to move somewhere. So if you're in the middle of it, you're waiting on that tide flush. Put that into your plan as well.
Yeah, especially this time of year. Even more important with the strong north winds, your lows are going to be lower in a lot of areas. And there's a lot of things people don't think about. Um, Fishing in wintertime, you're going to have less water on low tide
You want to address this?
in those areas. Corey's question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so, yeah, do the mangrove snapper you catch in the summer on dock stay in the same area or go deeper? Mangrove are still hanging around right now, but as it gets cooler, they're going to go deeper. You're going to be fishing more on the channel breaks and really paying attention to your electronics. And we'll get into electronics when we talk freshwater fishing and stuff. But um, it's they're there. They're lethargic. They're not as actively eating the mangroves in that area, but they're going to be deep. You can get them. You just have to finesse them. Is the best thing, especially when we get into like sheepheads and things like that. Tide is going to play a huge difference on those pilings, um, on where you fish, and how you fish. Um, when you get out there, if you pay attention to those things, you'll be a bit more successful, I should say.
Yeah. And for those of you that are watching from the Facebook page with Panhandle Fishing Report or the YouTube page, whenever you comment, we actually see your names. They're all popping up. Donnie, I've seen you in here.
Yeah.
Corey, thanks for that question. Bruce, we see all your questions are all going to be in one chat and one chat only. We're going to see it so that way everybody can see these things and we're keeping it compiled into one location. So by all means, keep them coming as we'll take breaks as through the show goes. We'll try to answer all your questions as best we can. It's just keep them coming. You know how we like to do it here on the show. Jared, good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's a
All
great one
right.
from
So
Justin talking about another thing to consider. The tide is that the tide is about 2 hours slower inshore than in the Gulf. So
yeah,
that's key when you're reading the tide charts and where you're fishing, because a lot of your tide charts are taken not necessarily in the estuary water. It's like points going out into the Gulf. Um, so that's a great point to bring up, Justin. Um, Jarrett, what's going on, buddy? All right, surf. Um, Target species wintertime is going to be whiting, bluefish, and redfish. They are pompano. We have residential pompano here, but and the larger ones, I'll say, are going to be in the wintertime. We have caught some monster fish, and we have caught limits on the 1st of January. It all depends on the weather and what's happening. The fish are here. Um, Fish are always here. It's just locating them. That's the toughest part. That's with any fishing, right? Finding the fish. But if you're out there and you're exploring, I was gonna say surveying, but that's really not the right word. If you're exploring and you're testing spots and stuff, that's where you want to go. That's where they're here. The fish are here. But if this is the time of year that you want to get out there and get big bull reds from the beach, if you're looking to get that 36 plus inch redfish, it's going to be the wintertime. If you're looking to get the big black drum cruising in the first trough, it's going to be wintertime. Um, your fish, the you're not going to have the quantity, but you're going to have the quality fishing from the surf in the wintertime. On the redfish, the black drum, the bluefish, they're just in there eating. We don't have great big bluefish down here anyway, so they're all chomper blues or whatever you want to call them. And the pompano seem to be bigger, the ones that you do catch. And the ones that have been caught this week, I mean, there was a lot of 14, 15s that I saw here in the area. So your bigger fish are going to be swimming through your lone fish. I say without going into a lot of detail. Your lone fish are going to be going through right now. Your residentials, they're here, and there's a reason they're here. But we won't get into all that.
I think the
But
winters are more oily too, and I love them.
it could be. Key baits. Obviously for your drum right now, it's going to be cut mullet for your redfish. For your black drum, either salted shrimp or fish bites. Um, and the biggest ones we have caught have been on little pieces of bait from the shore. We fished crab knuckle. I mean, that's going to work good too. But the biggest black drum that we've seen caught have been on either little pieces of shrimp or little piece of fish bite on your standard Salty's rig, Green Gitum rig, whatever rig you're using, the demo rig. Small elephants eat peanuts, right? And
Yeah.
that's what I equate the black drum fishing in the wintertime to. Elephants eat peanuts. Downsize your bait, downsize your gear. You're gonna be in for a great fight there. Fish the troughs, the deeper holes. This is a great time to go walking, especially for flounder and whiting. Is to go walking, looking for those deeper holes along the beach. The beach will start to scallop as the winter goes on. You're going to find those points. You're going to find those holes. Walk those with the 7 foot. As Brian mentioned, you want to give your dagger some love. Take your 7 foot dagger out there and just throw a Carolina rig in those holes. You can throw a live minnow. You could throw the an artificial paddle tail, swim tail in there, and just kind of slow bounce it off the bottom. Now's the time to go hit those holes. You're gonna do great out there. And then as we start getting through winter in the surf and start getting towards the spring, so end of February rolling into March, the weather is going to be it's going to be hit or miss. I mean, it really is. It's the storms that roll through here in March tear things up, and it can be great, bright sunny one day, and then the next day it's just where the hell does weather come from? As we get on through, but most of the time, you're going to have those clear north wind days where it's going to be blown flat, walk the beach, or toss out a big chunk of mullet for the redfish, and and always we didn't talk about the surfing. Always this time of year is great for sharks. Um, you want to get the dusky, you want to get the La Tigra, you want to get what this is the time to go after. You got to
Get
wade through the
all rolling,
sandbars.
rolling your letters there.
I know you like that La Tigra. You got to get you got to go through the sandbars, and they'll steal your bait and they'll annoy you, but they're fun to catch. But if you're kayaking baits out, that's one thing. If you're flying them out, it's no problem. They can eat all day. You just fly another bait out.
Talking about winter, talking about spring already. How dare you, sir? Let
I
me
know,
enjoy the
right?
cold. My
This
fluffy
flannel
self,
weather.
hell yeah, my fluffy self loves this, man. I'm not overly sad yet. I'll admit that. I mean, it hasn't been horrible, but it's gonna be it's you and I have caught some pretty nice big black drum just in the middle of winter.
Yes, and that's what I mean, we could throw up pictures. I didn't say, but the one that I threw up on the post, that was a wintertime fish.
Yeah.
There's a couple more that I have pictures of of you catching some big black drum out there in the flannel. Um, I've caught some nice ones down there on Pickens.
Yeah.
About that time of year. About this time of year. So
Pickens is a special place sometimes. I mean, I have neglected it this year because it's been a drive, but uh, Pickens is the good spot. Jared, to answer your question, yes, we
yes,
can. Some of them are very delicious. It is important to remember if you are if you are shark fishing in Florida, you do have to complete the shark class. Make sure you do that. Do not be the one to catch that or be shark fishing without the cert. And yes, that is open to interpretation if you've got the right size hook. Good example, Rob's in the green room. I could be using the red drum rig. It's a decent size hook. Could an FWC person say I'm going after a shark? Sure, they could because it's a bigger line. Now, why am I? No, because you guys know I don't fish for sharks. But pay attention to that. Make sure you take the right class. They're delicious, though. Yeah, they are delicious.
yeah.
Oh, well,
Yes, sir.
saltwater mercs. Well,
I know. I
hello
saw he
to
jumped in
you,
there.
Arrington.
What's up,
I'm
Arrington?
shocked.
Yeah, and this I'll throw his comment up here. It's favorite time of year to catch massive redfish on the surf.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut whiting, absolutely. Cut whiting, cut mullet, cut white trout, cut. I mean, you can, yeah, fresh is key.
Yeah.
There.
Nothing wrong with taking a 10-inch whiting, getting that, cutting it up and using it. I mean, that is going to be a win right there. Yeah, he did.
Caught two. Yeah, way to go, Frank. Saltwater Yankees caught two big uglies last week. Fish biting shrimp. There you go.
Mhm.
Something about it.
Yeah, you can get after that. All right, so let's just go over some general tips here. Location, focus on the deep channels, the holes, the area structure, and fish. They like to seek the refuge in that warm water in the colder months, Check out the estuaries, creeks, river mouths, potential hot spots. Think without overthinking it, but let's go into a couple of ideas here. Water, you know how it is. Sometimes you're walking and sometimes there's that warm patch because it's nice because you're downstream from your friend. Same thing, right? The fish like certain temperatures. We've said this numerous times, and science has told you that. Pay attention to the pieces there. So if they're gonna, do you want to be a fish that's getting beat up in the surf, or do you want to be hiding in that ripple? They're gonna sit in the ripple so they're not getting beat, and they're waiting for the food to come to them. Wintertime, they're lazy. They want it right to them. Same with us. Do you really want to work for your food? No. Drive through the drive-through. Call it good. Seriously, make it simple on yourself. Tides, fish during the moving tides increases the chance of locating active fish. Like I've said here, yes, we have one tide. However, I'm always looking at the coefficient. If I'm looking at any tide charts or any kind of movement, I'm looking for the coefficient of movement. I want to see how much it's going up and down. If I've got a high coefficient, that means it's going to be great. That stuff's pulling out the scent, it's moving it around, it's going out. I want that. Weather considerations: warmer days after a cold front can trigger increased fish activity. Overcast days may encounter fish to feed more actively. If it's overcast, they look up, kind of stealing the old Larryism here. Larry talks about if you're wearing a white shirt at the beach, what a bottom of eagles look like. They're white. What a fish look up? They see white. They freak out. Right? Camouflage. Overcast gives them a little bit of love. Think about when you catch a red in the surf. What color is it? Silver. If you catch it inshore, what color is it? Gold. Why? Camouflage. Hey, I feel really smart
Bingo.
right now. I don't know why, but I feel really smart.
I don't know what just happened. I blacked out.
It's like a blacked out, like Hank the Tank mode
Yeah.
there. What happened? Where am I? Stay prepared. Carry a variety of baits and lures to adapt to the changing conditions. Check, maintain your gear regularly, especially in these saltwater environments. We've said this. Another one I want to bring up. It is Florida. Yes, it gets 50 degrees. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. Can you get hypothermia? Yes, you can if you don't prepare properly. Go out with a plan, have a safety idea, think about what you're doing, make sure you've got everything that you need. Okay. A little bit of common sense is going to go a long way.
And if we're talking inshore stuff and then in general weather and things like that, a mud flat is going to heat up a lot quicker than your sand bottom will. Just throwing that out there.
Something about capacity and capacitance. I don't know. Weird.
I'm just saying. That's why you see a lot more fish being caught up the rivers in the wintertime than you do down here.
I'm just going to get on your boat
Proportions.
and I'm going to put two buoys out,
Right.
40 yards a pop, run the net down 5 feet. We're just going to do the Alaska. We're just going to walk the nets forward and be like, all right, I'm done. I got them all.
Yeah, somebody did that recently and got caught. So
Oh,
BBC and Florida Highway Patrol both jumped in on that one. Got that
I
guy.
wonder why.
He had like 600 yards of gill net. He was
No,
pulling out
he didn't. Was it
600.
that much? I saw a
Yeah,
snippet. I didn't know it was that
on
bad.
the FWC. It's on the FWC Facebook page or post that they put out. 600 yards of gill net he was running. He deserved to get
Wow.
caught, but I'm just saying.
Yes, I hope that he gets hooked in life in prison. I hope they
Yeah.
take dull ones and just tap him with it.
So we're going to talk freshwater fishing because
My
we don't
worst.
normally talk about that on here. But wintertime is a great like if you're a surf fisherman or whatever and you want to go and do something different, or if you just want to get out there and do something. We don't give freshwater fishing in this area much love, because the main concentration is saltwater fishing, but there are areas this time of year especially where you want to go fish. And it's really pan fishing. You want to go and catch a bunch of crappie. You want to go catch a bunch of bluegill, shell crackers, warmouth, whatever you want to call them, which are all different species, but they're all up there and ready this time of year. Um, Bass, especially winter bass, is a great time for bass fishing. They tend to concentrate in the deeper water. The bluegill and the crappie, also freshwater lakes and rivers, and we're going to talk about a few of them. So just like fishing saltwater this time of year, fish are lethargic, right? So slow down your presentation, downsize your gear. Wintertime and high pressure months, you want to slow down presentation, downsize your gear, to increase your chance of catching fish. So let's talk about a few. Blackwater River. A lot of people don't fish fresh Blackwater River. They fish the salt because Blackwater River is a brackish, heavily salt, and then as you go up and it starts getting fresh, you can catch redfish and bass in the same place. It's crazy. Um, but it's known for its dark tannic stained water, and it is deep. A lot of people don't know when you get up there around the train trestle in Milton and beyond, you're in like 40 some foot of water in those channels. It is deep up there. You can catch hybrids up there. You can catch uh, which would we would think of would be a striped bass, but it's technically hybrids.
It's a striper. It
It's a
counts.
striper. Exactly. If you pulled one up, you'd be excited right now.
Damn right I would. You would
So,
too.
so in the Blackwater River, you want to focus on those deeper holes in the bends in the channel. Um, Submerged structure, like a lot of fallen trees, a lot of fallen logs. Use live minnows, small jigs for the crappie, and small jigs and worms for the bluegill. They're up there and they are schooled up. You really got to pay attention to your electronics when you get into those areas, because when you find those big schools, they're holding to something. and you just slowly drop down an ultralight jig and just start lightly bouncing it, and you're going to be at a cooler full of fish. Choctawhatchee River offers, this one's another one that offers a diverse habitat. Um, Mainly saltwater, but again, as you start getting up into the creeks and everything like that, it starts getting fresh um, and water, and it's a great producer of panfish. Again, look for the slow moving areas there, backwaters, the areas with the underwater vegetation. Pay attention to your electronics. If you don't know where those are, learn to read your electronics so you can tell when you're in those areas. Here, though, instead of jigging, you're going to want to drift fish the Choctawhatchee with a live bait and casting small jigs. Again, is productive, but you're not necessarily going to sit still over structure. You're going to drift that river. Um, Getting more east to Apalachicola River. This one's a good one that you can just it, it winds all back through there. This is mainly for our Panama City guys who go up and over that way. Um, Explore that river and its tributaries. Again, focusing on deeper channels, creek mouths, and submerged structure. Vertical jigging live minnows with small spinners, excuse me, artificials with small spinners for those guys. Again, all the river fishing for freshwater fishing this time of year. It's slow, it's methodical. They slow down during this time of year. Use your electronics, learn to read your electronics to find the structure, to find those beds. Once you're on a school, you're gonna do well. Um, Weather conditions, just like saltwater fishing, we talked about, fish the warmest part of the day here. You want to get the fish moving and active. Sunny days can warm the shallow areas, of course, which attract the bass. And then again, warmer days following a cold front increases fish activity. So plan your trips if you want to be successful. Fish when you can, but plan your trips accordingly so that you can have the best success. Um, Meaning tides, the weather, everything coming through there. You'll have a lot more. You have a lot more fun that way. So anyway, nah. Oh, I lost your audio.
No, you didn't. I just didn't push the
Okay.
button properly 'cause I'm a dumbass.
Like, what happened?
I'm not having a good I am when
Mm.
it takes you 20 minutes to get into the chat room to even get it to load, you already know you're having a bad day. Then when your audio fails, and it's just like it's a trifecta. 30 minutes of stupidity, not a good time. And now we're talking about the worst subject I'll if you guys haven't heard me say it on Finding Demo, I'll say it to you all here. I am the worst freshwater fisherman that I know. And I can say that with confidence. And that's from traveling the country and skunking so much. So yeah, that's my life. However, we could talk about this because Mike gave me the keys. Oh, thanks, Julie. Appreciate you.
Julie.
Julie feels bad for me. All right. So retrieving, it's kind of like the same thing we've talked about when you're doing inshore. You can kind of play a lot of the same games when you're doing fresh and salt. I've said this a couple of times. Fishing is fishing. You can take what you've learned in fresh and move it to salt, salt and move it to fresh. You really can. It's not that crazy. You don't have to overthink it. Worm and bobber. That's the only way I've won before. I will admit that, Jared. Oh man, right off old grandpa's dock. Fish are generally less active in the colder water, so slow down your retrieval speed for both crappie and the bluegill. You don't gotta yank it in. And also with that, keep in mind how much is one crank retrieval per your pole. Certain rods, 36 inches. That's 3 feet. I can math. You rotate it once, that's 3 feet. That's a big one. And also with that tip movement, what you think is you're moving this much, yeah, that could be a whole lot different underwater there. So think about that as you're moving these things. During winter, also on depth, crappie and bluegill may move into deeper water. Experiment with different depths until you find where the fish are and where they're holding. Plan on with your electronics. Think about that as well. You get little depth markers, you get little ideas. Oh, hey, they're here. They're sitting on this. I need to get my jig down there. You can cheat with a method, and you guys know I love this company. They don't sponsor the show. True Braid. They have the multicolor braid, and it is actually measured per color change. I can't remember the distance, but that is something that you can utilize for, hey, I've moved this much. This is this. So it helps. Terry, great call. Live scope. You can't go wrong with that. Cliff. That's just because Cliff, you catch friggin' pompano in a freshwater pond. Shut up, friggin' jerk. One of the best damn anglers I know. But yeah, that would be my cheater method. I've used that before. I've got one of my rods actually spooled up with the True Braid on the multicolored because of that. It actually helps me visually keep an eye on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. It's just a little learning point for me. Live bait versus artificial. While live bait makes minnow like a minnow can be effective, don't forget to try the small jigs, small soft plastics and spinners for artificial lure options. Big fish eat little fish. I mean, yes, little fish eat little fish too. Still, I mean, if they're hungry, they're hungry. Hey, Tom. Uh, where am I at? Where am I at? There I am. Weather patterns, because he didn't leave me comments, I'm going to make my own. Weather, because I don't know how I became the residential weatherman here. Weather plays a huge factor in this stuff. You know, you can be out there in the bright sunny day, but overcast, hey, we've heard it before. Overcast is a great day. Rain, not wonderful, but can it help? Sure. There are some conditions that can help you. So pay attention to the weather with that, because you can utilize different ones. And don't forget about high pressure, low pressure fronts. They make a difference. We're going to talk about that tonight. And stay mobile. If you're not getting bites in one location, be willing to move and explore different areas of the river, lake, or pond. One of the great things when you're out on a boat, you're not growing roots. You got a motor. Turn the damn thing on. I mean, seriously, just move. Not every honey hole is going to be the best honey hole. Just change it up a little. It's not going to be a big deal, man. I promise. I'd rather you have that than just sit there and go, oh, they didn't catch jack and shite. What the hell?
Yeah. That's everything. I mean,
It
whether you're
is.
the beach with freshwater, the beach, offshore, whatever. Move, move, move
Yeah.
around. Get out
Jared, great point. I mean, this is something that I think a lot of us. I'll put my foot in my mouth.
there.
I think a lot of us don't pay attention to some of these things. We get it in our head, or we change something. Everything has a fact. Everything has a use. Know your gear. It's one of Justin Reed. It's one of his things. He's always told me why he has things the way. Actually, Mike, you've told me too why you have gear the certain way, because it's uniform. You know what that piece is doing on all one. You can grab one rod. You know exactly how it's going to fight. How many cranks? How many this? How many that? All that stuff makes a huge difference. So knowing your gear is going to get you a lot further, in my opinion. But it's on
Yeah.
you, sir.
Yeah. All right. So that, in a nutshell, is our winter fishing wrap up.
Yay! We used to pass the show.
I know there's tons of stuff to go out there and catch in the wintertime. A lot of people start packing up their gear because fishing's not hot and heavy. Um, Fishing can be extremely good in the wintertime. Like I said, it's not quantity, it's quality in the wintertime, and your fish are going to be bigger. Um, if you're a shark guy, like I said before, now's the time to get out there to get some of those. Um, Inshore, yeah, your sheephead are starting to get big. Your bigger trout are schooling around, and your redfish right now, all over the place. So wintertime fishing can be extremely productive. You just gotta pay attention to what's going on, and then yeah, and plus, like Justin Reed said, if you're a surf fisherman, right now the beaches are empty, so it's great to go out there. Um, so anyway, question of the week. Question of the week is brought to you by Rogue Reels Fishing. Use Rogue 20. That's an update now. Rogue 20. Get 20% off your order. Rogue Reels makes the quality hand-tied fishing leaders like the Smitty rig, a 20-foot, 500-pound class deployment shark leader, or the Demo rig, a heavy-duty double drop rig. Go check him out at roguereelsfishing.com. He also right now is running a sale, and I can't remember when it ends, but right now with no discount code, it's 20% off select items. If I'm not, you can just nod in the background, Rob, if I got it right. I don't think it's everything, but there's select items that are 20% off right now. So, he left.
Ooh, he bounced.
He bounced. Got it wrong and he left. No, just kidding. But you can always use code Rogue20 and that'll save you 20% on everything. And that's going to be good through, last we heard was March. So that's a good one there. Okay, go. Question of the week. What is your favorite wintertime fish to target? I know we talked about a lot of them, but what's your favorite to go target?
Blues and blacks.
Yeah. Blue on black.
Old black and
But
blue. Give me a winter bluefish, extra oily, and a nice big old black drum to fight me for about 30 seconds while I
mhm.
friggin' drag his ass in for the longest. Like, come on, just give up.
So we got them. They're coming in from Justin. I agree with you on that one.
Bobo. What? What?
Uh, I moved south and still catch pompano.
Hmm.
So this is good. So we don't have to. I mean, we can bring comments up, but a lot of folk now that we're all on the same page and channel, boom.
Yeah.
Um, we can get that's a good one, Mark. Bobo from shore, absolutely. Flounders and reds,
Flounder's a good one because
yeah,
this is where you get into it. Sheepies.
yeah. I'm gonna say black drum for me.
They
In
are
the
fun.
wintertime, like black drum, and then like Frank just said, the big redfish. But I'd have to say black drum from the beach is probably my favorite in the wintertime.
Don't we all, Donnie?
Yeah, but I don't mind jumping in the boat and going to get big redfish,
Oh, you
bridges,
can't.
and
What, Donnie?
muskie.
Because your cool lakes don't have that stuff. It's not fair.
Yeah, we don't get those down here. We have
See, if I could have a dream, if I could have a wish fish
chain
down here, it
crawlers.
would be salmon.
Ooh. Cheyenne, what is
Oh,
up? How
hey,
are you?
look
Thanks
at
for
that happy
watching.
face. It's been forever, dude. So
Oh
good to
man,
see you.
yeah, sheep. Yeah, sheep. I'm My goal is to do a lot more sheephead fishing.
Same.
There's some stuff that I've been reviewing and getting that I'm going to use more of the bags this year.
Oh, are you?
I've already decided. Yeah,
Yeah,
inject
I've
with
been.
boosters and
So I've been debating. Why am I
debating.
enunciating my words? I've been debating going back with the bags that I showed you before. I can't remember their name right now.
Mhm.
Or moving over to cheesy cloth. But either way, I think
Th-
there's something to be said.
There is the only reason I wouldn't do the cheesecloth stuff is because I'm lazy and I don't want to tie it and do it myself. And the other ones come already tied, ready to go.
That's fair.
And there's it's like an inch and a half long, about like that. That's already tied up, ready to go. Comes with 2 injectors. Squirt the juice in there and go, man. Drop it down.
We use the juice.
Give it the juice. Um, so yeah, that's what sheephead, but black drum by far is my favorite from the beach this time of year.
Yeah. I'll be in the Yakmore here very soon. I've got it already dialed up and ready. It's time to get out there and do it. Sundays are going to be my fishing day from the near
Nice.
seeing future. Oh, by the way, I should probably tell you I'm probably on second shift for the next 3 months. Forgot to mention that part.
Oh, that's fine. That works out pretty good this way. I mean, let's for the show
It
wise, we
works.
don't have to change
It
dates.
works. It works all right. It works so great.
It works.
All right. Night crawlers.
Right.
Yeah. Terry, you can really get after some interesting things when it comes to sheepies. It really comes down to the whole, from what I understand, just basically the process.
Absolutely. And watch that dude's video. God, I can't remember the guy's name. He was catching them with crickets, catching them with night crawlers, catching
Yeah.
them with what was the other thing he had that he was catching them on? Anyway, but as you say, I think it's more the technique than the bait that you're using. So
Yeah. Yeah, Cheyenne, not everyone, but yeah, it's happened.
it
Yeah,
has.
I will definitely be using it this year. I will be using a bunch of stuff. I will be going into the backyard and finding things. Southern
Yep.
salt. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. That's what it was. Southern salt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I will be trying a bunch of weird stuff this year. Why? Because damn it, I want to have those friggin' things that you've been cooking, like that last one you did of your sheep. Friggin'
Mhm.
awesome chef, you making damn food so looking so good, killing me. I need that in my life. Plus, I also need to have the sheep the way that Katie made it from Justin.
Oh
So
yeah.
it
The
looks so
Korean
good.
barbecue looking.
Oh,
Oh, with the
oh,
and I bet it was just spicy enough, like not. Oh man.
just spicy.
Yeah.
Have you met Katie? You know it's like thermonuclear. It's delicious.
Spicy enough, right? Well, yeah, I meant like just spicy. You don't have to add anything to it.
Oh,
They
oh
just
yeah,
just
probably not.
spicy enough. like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure it was delicious.
oh yeah,
Burns going in and out at the same time. So
yeah,
that's when you know it's the right way.
absolutely.
All right, so let's get into the reports then. Good answers on everybody here.
Mhm.
Appreciate it. Keep it coming. Rock it out. We're all about those. Fishing reports being brought to you by GI Jigs. Use code PFR for 10% off your purchase. GI Jigs are patented, handmade jig head, custom design around the eye, and made with unique characteristics to entice fish into reaction strikes. Check it out at gijigs.com.
Okay, another sponsor update. He is offering 20% off right now with code PFR. 20% off GI Jigs right now through the end of the month. So
Not
if you
saying
want,
that we have a bunch of them for a reason. There's a reason Mike and I have these things.
now's the time to get your jig heads. If you so you can go out there and target those big redfish, and you'll see me rig them up before on the big 6-inch curly tail fish bites, right? Artificial. That's
Mhm.
money right there.
Oh,
Your
the
big
monster grub
Z-man.
is coming. The,
Yeah,
the monster grubs are coming out for the surf,
yeah,
man. I'm gonna be slinging the 8'6" or the 9 foot dagger for that. Just hucking that Johnny out there because that's a big ass worm,
yeah.
and something big's gonna eat it.
Yep. It's yeah. So right now, starting today, LJ Captain LJ messaged us and said, "Hey, I'm gonna increase it to 20%, and boom, just through the end of the year. So get on out there if you need your jigs. Now's the time to go get them."
Surprise!
Yeah. So offshore report. Just like last week, weather the first part of the week was great and allowed some folks to get out there. Some great fishing. Fish are still around and holding in nearshore wrecks. Trolling still producing some tuna, bonita, kings. Um, Mingo bite is still hot. Flounder, like we said last week, flounder bite offshore is still good. Now's the time, like we said, pick your days. Wintertime fishing can be great. Go out, hunt those spots, check on some stuff, do some exploring, catch photo, release, boom, and then head on back in after a good day. It's not much on the
No,
offshore
not
right now.
bad though, but still good
Yeah,
fishing.
yeah.
Inshore trouts are becoming much more plentiful in the reports. I'm seeing a lot of good ones. Sweet flounder as well. Reds are
Mhm.
still playing as always, and hey, the convicts are starting to show up. So get out there, stack it up with fresh shrimp. Can't go wrong. Glass minnows will get in there. It doesn't hurt. Fiddlers,
Mhm.
oysters, something different. Elephants eat peanuts. Something
Mhm.
about that. If it lives
Mhm.
in the water and I can put it in the water in front of a fish's face, a fish should eat said bait.
Mhm.
Huh. What a
Mhm.
concept. It's called fishing. Uh Artificial's also getting the job done very, very happily. So stack it in with the fish bite paddle tails, the curly ones get after it. Again, one thing I will say, color, 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 color. Pay attention to what the watercolor's doing. You don't want to be throwing a camouflage in the water. You don't want to hide it. You want it to be seen. And if you want to get creative, I've heard some really cool parts about a couple of rattles you put on the shaft of the hook. I don't know, something about that if you wanted to
Mhm.
add it. But hey, that's just me.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, I wasn't going to squirrel, but
Yes. Thank
I
you.
was watching I
Yes.
was watching a I think it's a 4-year-old video on YouTube.
Okay.
Not a video by a 4-year-old, but a
Okay.
4-year-old
Thank you for
video.
thank you
Yeah,
for saying that because I was actually thinking, I'm like, all right, this kid's gonna be
and it
famous.
was and it was and I think I shared it in one of our groups, a snippet of the old guy, Jersey Bob or the tax man or whatever his name is. Anyway, it wasn't Bob the garbage man, but
Oh yeah,
it
I remember
was
now.
the other. Okay. He did a great spiel on color and why certain colors and why you catch fish with certain colors. And it all has to do with bait. Know the bait. There's some books out there that I want to now that he like really piqued my interest that I want to dig into this and why certain colors work. Because of the bait that is running and that the fish are eating in the stage of the bait at said time, the colors will produce more fish. It's almost like matching a hatch, but you have to know what bait is running and at what stage in their life cycle they're in. I mean, this dude like broke it down going
Oh,
into okay, so if and it was references to striped bass. If striped bass are eating bunker out there, right now, and they're eating fry, fry is a different color than the big bunker is, or if they're eating anchovies, or if they're eating whatever, they're different colors, and different colors will represent different things and on the bait cycle for us, right? Like, so, and this is it's for surf fishermen in particular here in the Panhandle. And I've said this before, so if folks have paid attention, great. And if not, you can just keep scrolling. But our sand fleas go away right now, and the fish start eating more clams than they do sand fleas, crustaceans. So we change our bait up, and we do things that look more clam-like or taste clam-like, or we stick with shrimp because shrimp's always around. But when you start matching your bait in the stage that it's in, yeah, I know, right? It's a lot of words to say match the fish, but it was scientifically the dude. I was like, holy! It was like a light bulb went off for me, and been fishing for years and never thought about the life cycle of the bait that we're fishing, and then why the certain colors work the way they do. Because a lot of people will think like water clarity has a lot to do with the color baits you use. So you use a certain color to make it uh because of the water clarity. But technically, if you really want to get into it, it's because what they're eating and what they see. So anyway, again, rabbit hole, gone down it, and I'll share more because I've been clipping snippets of that guy's video to post. But it's very interesting.
God, I love Jared for the jarhead he is.
Oh, I know.
And you're right. I can't read, but I can listen to audiobooks. So there. How about that?
Boom. So you know what this guy did though? Okay, scroll one time.
This wheel is great.
Yeah, I will, Justin. Keep sharing that info. Chip. Yeah, I know, right? What they would do, and it's what you and I do when we come home with fish, and what a lot of people do is they cut the belly open right away.
Hell
right?
yeah. Give me the intel.
This guy says, when you bring them on the boat, if you got a freshwater wash down or whatever, you squirt that water hose and makes them regurgitate everything, and then boom, what are they eating? He said, you'll find everything you need to know just by doing that. And you don't hurt the fish by doing that. You send him back and he swims off. You're just pumping his stomach, basically.
You're pumping his stomach. You're making the fish bulimic. It's not that I haven't ever taken a piece of bait off of one of your dead fish off the boat and reused it. Oh, you threw that little minnow up. Thank you. You're going back out.
That's what you're eating. We've done that. But there's so much. When you really want to get into it, there's so much science that goes into it that you start thinking about. That's like, man, that's.
No, it's not, Andy. Nothing is too hard if you set your mind to it. And besides, if it doesn't want to regurgitate and it wants to possibly live on the boat, I'll help it. I'll help it with a little liposuction with a little bit of use of my sword blade. But anyway, I mean, that is any fish that's like that kind of thing. Intel is intel. Take what you can, when you can, how you can. It's just that good. And if you're keeping a fish that you can keep, you can, by Florida FWC rules, eviscerate said fish. You can look at the guts. Not saying you should throw the guts back down on a hook, but I would consider throwing said guts down on a hook. Anyway, I digress. But the whole pieces that run with that is look ahead. If you want to be successful, just find the ways to be successful. If I'm sheep's head fishing and I catch a keeper sheep, you're damn right I'm going to want to cut open its stomach and find out right away what it's doing. I want to know. I want to know how to get ahead.
And his biggest point he was making was, you can go catching or you can go fishing.
Oh,
and he's putting that out there, but he's saying, like, if you want to go out there and you want to sit on a spot and drop baits and hope you get bit, he goes, I'm not going out hoping my line gets bit. I'm going out to catch fish. And if I don't catch fish, then I'm going somewhere else where the fish is there. Let's catch bait.
See, I see Chip, and all I can think is phrasing.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
You don't need to film it. It's getting weird.
Chip is a good example of this and understanding the science of it. And then you wonder why he goes out and catches so many fish. You know what I mean?
I never wonder. That dude has.
Well, sure, we don't wonder. We know, but you have to sit to the point and understand why the fish are where they are and what they're doing and what they're doing. And it takes some time to put into it if you want to be successful fishing, not just catching.
I mean, I am one that is fully. I
I
have no
enjoy
problem.
both.
Yeah, yeah. I have no problem saying this. The last 2 times I've gone out, I've gone to the exact same location with one purpose, and it wasn't to catch fish. I went out to get my head out of the world and go fish. I went fishing. I didn't go
Yeah,
catching. Now,
yeah,
you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing says you
not
can't
at
go
all.
enjoy yourself and just go live. And if somebody wants
Absolutely.
to judge you for it, hey, right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Do you live your life? And if you know you're going to go out, we've talked about on the show being tactical, mindful, what your plan is. Have a plan to succeed, or you're going to plan to fail. And if you know you want to go fill that cooler, you got to go out to the place where you're like, all right, I see this. Okay, I'm going to attack that. I can hang out here, move on, go on to the next one. Same in a boat, same in a kayak, same on the shore. You got to be willing to do things to get your cooler full. You can't
Absolutely.
sit still and hope. That's not a good koa, as we
And
used to say.
that's what he says. And I will post this week at some
Bamsis.
point. Um, maybe Tuesday. No, because we replay on Tuesday. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Post a video because Tuesday is our replay of this one. If you guys didn't know, and then Wednesday we're gonna start reloading one a week our old videos to YouTube.
Aw.
With the background story, just like we did on the inception of this whole show. And if you missed that post, go check it out on Facebook, and it explains how the Panhandle Fishing Report came to be, which is an interesting story.
Huh. Oh, speaking of
Yeah,
that, before I go into
yeah,
my report here, because
yeah.
yeah, I just did
I
inshore,
just did.
so we're going to you.
Oh, this
Did you
is-
do
I
surf?
did. I did.
Okay.
But I
But
can't.
before we do, I
Okay.
wanted to say this while we're squirreling. First, I love your new background.
Oh, you like that?
I
Thanks.
do. I really like your new background.
Nice.
You did a great job hammering all that wood in and placing those lights. I think you did wonderful. Great job,
Appreciate
sir.
that.
Secondary, what the hell's in the glass? You
Oh
didn't
yeah,
open with it.
we haven't done that. I was going to change my background, but I won't right now.
No,
Um,
I know that has to wait until we get to the scroll for you to change to that one.
Tonight I'm drinking Pendleton whiskey, which is pretty good. That's about all I can tell you with the Pendleton. I don't know much about it other than it's pretty good. Oh, it was aged in a brandy barrel. I will tell you that because it's a whiskey. It's not a bourbon, so bourbon has to stay in the same um, absolute. Has to stay in the same barrel, and then it gets bottled. And there's also some other things. A whiskey is goes into another barrel to age. So um, anyway, little fun fact. Anyway, but it's all right.
Jared, it's definitely Mike finally broke down and joined the dark side of me. He finally got a green screen.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you guys are gonna love his next background. It's gonna be wonderful. This has been
Actually, it's not that. It's not that.
did that get vetoed?
Um,
A safe
no,
word,
but
yes.
there's some limitations with
I like
the green
boundaries.
screen. No, there's limitations with the green screen,
What?
and you can't put video behind it.
I hear a challenge accepted. All right, on to you for that
Okay.
one while I sit here and play with mine in the background.
All right. So surf fishing report. Pompano, redfish, black drum, bluefish, and whiting have all been reported this past week with sporadic pompano. Like I said in the beginning, the pompano that have been caught have been pretty big. We're talking 14, 15-inch fish. There's bigger fish coming through right now. Sharks are abundant right now, with the most being the bait stealing sandbars, as I mentioned with my story at the beginning of the show. You got to weed through those to get to those duskies that you're looking for, or the tigers right now. But they are still a lot of fun to catch. I mean, when you pull in a 6 to 8 foot shark, it's fun. Preferred bait right now, I'm using bonita. A lot of folks are using bonita, frozen bonita, rays, fresh cow nose. If you can get out there and get those, they're going to sit longer than your bonita. Your bonita is going to get picked apart on bait, but and then Jackson Spanish if you can get them. So.
Furiously typing.
All right, you're trying to get it, aren't you?
I'm not saying I am, but you know me.
I know you are.
I'm loving watching Cliff in the background. Just
I know
always
he's changing
screaming
his.
background.
Yeah.
It's been great watching.
Yeah.
See you, Justin. All right,
He
Piers. Flounder, 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 flounder. It has been a common theme throughout all the piers right now. It's great. There are still bobos and some other good stuff, sharks, reds. I didn't see a pompano. I did see a couple of black drum as well, but flounder is really good right now. So there's a lot of great stuff on the piers. By all means, get out there and fish those piers, have fun with it. And this is also a really good time to start meeting people on piers, to get into a known person, to start growing your happiness, to get out to the octagon, whatever it may be. But hey, pier fishing is doing just fine. And if you're getting an all facets piece and that's the one you're missing, now's a great time to go out. You get to play the first bar, second bar, and out to the end. So have at it. Lots of good stuff. Oh, weather's gonna suck to talk about. Oh.
Yeah, it is. But that's okay. We'll get through it. All right. Are we on to weather? We are.
We are.
Let's see how share screen works with this. Take this down. Yeah, the green screen was a good investment. I like it.
It is nice. I mean,
it's cleaner and it's brighter. I don't have to keep it so dark in here.
Oh, is it? Is it helping?
Right. Yeah. It's nice. See Cliff just bouncing back and forth on his screens. All right, what have I been looking at? Mostly my ads pop up. Yes, bibs. I've been looking at bibs. That's nice.
A lot better than mine.
Close this down. All right, small craft advisory right now. And shoes, AFCO, pelagics. Yeah, looking at all that stuff because it's cold out. Monday, tomorrow looks like a great day to get out and fish. North winds at 11. It's going to be sunny, high of 59. So it's good. Partly cloudy. Winds staying the same. Northeast at 11. Northeast at 14. Starting Wednesday, Thursday, it's going to start getting not so good with the rain. And Brian will talk more about that on his scroll. But the winds kick up 18, 21, 18. And those are just they're not the gusts. So then you're going to add to that. So we're going to be up to 21. We're probably gusting 35.
Yeah, that's about the number.
Yeah, that was pretty close, wasn't it? Yeah,
pretty damn close.
18 to upper 20s. So it's going to be windy as all get out, and chance of rain again as we move through. And we're going to be in that pattern for a little bit. Last December it was so much warmer, and so much like
seasonal.
Yeah, it was crazy than it has been this year.
Yeah, we're getting back into real winter. So before I bring Windy up, I'm going to read you what I typed, and then I'm going to show you what it is. All right, so it's going to be mediocre this week on Monday to Wednesday. Thursday, we get into something I did not expect to see hit us this late in the year, in winter especially. We're going to get into a nasty low pressure system. And for a low pressure system, that's also known as hurricane weather. Hence, there I had a little fun learning today. So yeah, it's going to hang out and just sit for a few days. It is weird how it's just sitting there, and it's going to screw everything up. All the shorelines, if you're in the surf, all your spots are going to be completely different because the wave action is also going to 7-footers. It's ugly. It's not a good time. Anticipate 15 to 20 mile an hour winds gusting into the high 30s. That'll be up until Sunday, where we be greeted with more rain. Yay, winter. So good. So friggin' good. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad. Nope, I'm not. All right, let's make my screen bigger here. Yeah, let's use that button. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. All right. Okay, so our happy little Panhandle region here. So with winds, there's something I'm going to basically, as you can still see, I like the pressure lines. I do like the numbers because I do like to know what the pressure's doing, because I do like to go out during certain times for pressure fishing. Winds, you guys already know, are going to be in the high ones, so I don't even need to show you that, but I will show you the waves. This is where it starts to get funky. So as you can see, we're not too far offshore. Whoa there, scroller. How about you slow your friggin' roll? Let's go up a little bit more. All right. A little bit closer to shore there. So as you know, the inshore is going to be a lot better with that. We got a little bit of protection here, but let's get after it. Okay, so into Sunday, rocking into Monday, these waves are still pushing. As you can see, this high is starting to push down and away. That's great, fine and dandy. However, it's going to get really funky real quick. So high pressure on Monday, that's going to be a nice band to go out and try to get after. Monday's going to be good. Tuesday, not bad. 2-footers, you're still in red territory, black drum. If you're starting into the surf, if you're out in the boats, be very careful with that. As you can still see, you got a good blue here. You're doing okay up into Tuesday. Wednesday, still sitting okay. It's supposed to drop, but oh, it changed. Okay, that's fine. So we're coming up 3. Notice the purple starting to come through. That's the low pressure system coming up from the south. Thursday, now the purple's getting bigger, 4-footers, tighter bands, pressure, something's changing. It means it's going on that. This high pressure system is going to sit here and hang out. Thursday, here's Friday, and here comes Magic Mr. Low, who's want to say, no, you're not going to enjoy your weekend. You can't enjoy your weekend because that would just be completely unorthodox. Friday, 6-footers. Saturday, 6-footers. And then a premium, which I probably should pay money for one of these days. Come on, Sunday.
You want me to bring up?
Oh, no, it always shows that background. I just need to do it. There's the low that I don't want. 8 foot. Nice. 8 foot. So we're still on the Sunday. This pressure system. Hello, that's new. Oh, that's really new. And this low just sits here. Monday. God, this thing sucks. And I mean, it's low. It's 29s. It's Tuesday. It just sits here and just punches us. This is going to bring up a lot of wind, a lot of wave action as it slowly starts to dissipate. As you can see here, there's Tuesday and it stops. That's where we're going. So come Wednesday next week, hopefully we're going to be looking at a better situation here. And then these pressure rings will eventually push away. We got a high and a low out here. The winds might move it away, but with that coming up from the south, I have a feeling we're going to see some nasty, we're going to have some nasty action out of it. It's not good. So sorry, not sorry. It sucks, but just is what it is. Be mindful of it and just be ready. I seriously, when I pull up windy now, I'm all like, I'm excited to see what this is going to be. And then I see it. I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm not excited anymore. I hate you.
Let's go to the scroll.
All right, into the scroll. The Panhandle Scroll is being brought to you by Salty's Pompano rigs. From single drop to the double drop, Salty's got you covered with premium hand-tied rigs. He also has some pretty cool stickers and shirts to go along. Check them out, saltyspompano-rigs.com.
All right, here we go. I can't let this go away.
Yeah, Terry, I'd go tomorrow while you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So our friends over at Bird of Prey Tackle has got something new.
Yeah, that's
follow. Is it off your scroll too?
It's off my scroll now.
You got a cutting board designed for your most truck tailgates. So most of us clean fish on the back of the truck. Well, now we got a nice cutting board. It can also be customized. If you saw Panhandle Salt, Perdido Blaine had a nice one that he had done. Yep, Christmas gift. We're going to offer name logo engraving for $25 additional on the cutting board. So, and free on, what am I reading there? EFC boards and free on tailgate cleaning tables. Wow.
The tailgate one is nice. I really liked the tailgate setup.
Yeah, that is nifty. Okay, well, go check them out. Bird of Prey. And since it is sheephead season, you need to stock up on sheephead stuff. Bird of Prey Tackle's got you covered.
One-stop shop? How dare you, sir?
I know, right? All right. This one we talked about Bobos, blackfin things. So this is Redbeard. Robert Renfro got out, did some fishing. Destin Offshore fishing page there. Went out to the Fads, got some nice fish. I mean, that's a nice wahoo.
Mm-hmm. Redbeard just got himself a dry suit too, which I thought was really smart of him.
Yeah, he did a lot of kayaking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he
had that really bad accident though in his kayak this past year. So I'm glad to see that he's out there. Bonita, what they are, Jared? Bonita, are you Bonita?
Bonita. Sheephead bite, Mobile Bay, Dolphin Island fishing. I popped this site up last week, but David Lee here, and he'll come up a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Nice limit of sheepies. Boom. This was the other one. This was the next one I was going to post. So if you guys have seen, Clifton Davis posts a lot, mainly Big Black Drum. That dude crushes them over there.
He does. He does not mess around.
Yeah. And this was a great day for that. I mean, come on. You can't beat that.
No.
That is awesome. Eats right there. What else do we have? A lot of sheephead right now. Flounder. Yep. So that was the other one. We just showed you that. All right. Another one from the Mobile Bay Dolphin Island. Big redfish, big uglies. You know, Dustin Brooks out there tearing them up. Boom, boom. I mean, come on. That's a good time right there.
Mm-hmm.
Big uglies, big redfish. We said, quality. You're going to get them. All right. So this is by Bud Pope over there, Pensacola Fishing Fanatics. Bud posts a lot of things, and some things I don't know if it's real, and some things I'm like, okay, but this, I mean, it's legit pictures. I just don't know when it was caught. But anyway, a lot of nice sheephead, flounder, some big mullet over here. But yeah, fishing's good right now. I mean, you need to get out there. It'll also probably tell you caught it all on squid and the J hook. So.
It will be squid and a J hook. That is his normal.
Oh yeah. Charlie over there, another Pensacola Fishing Fanatics post. Okay, look at your fiddler crab. Look at your knocker jig. The reason why those that color. Bird of prey jig there. Oh, look at that. An assortment. Got some nice jigs there and some nice sheephead to go with it. Boom. 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 That was awesome. Bam. I mean, that was a good day. Good fishes. So definitely getting sheephead time. All right. Flounder bite has been hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is Okaloosa Island Pier tagging us on the Panhandle Fishing Report. Bam. Was that a 17-inch? Yeah. I think somebody got an 18-inch today.
Yeah.
Flounder.
You know what we need? You just made me realize something. I'll wait till you do your next one and then I'll say it.
Another nice sheephead. Victor Lopez right off the Shalimar Bridge. So yes, that is the Shalimar Bridge. That's to George Marina over there as you go into Shalimar. So that's
because you've seen stuff in the background.
Well, okay. So some people would be like, "Is that really Shalimar Bridge?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the Shalimar Bridge. I've fished that. That is Shalimar Bridge." So and you can tell because if you zoomed in, you could see two Georges right over there. But anyway, so sheephead, they're everywhere, man. Get out there, drop a line. It does come down to technique. All right, buddy Adam over at Ignite the Bite Charters. That is a nice 22-inch flounder. Went out scouting some spots. So if you're interested in doing a flounder trip, want to go do some flounder fishing, give Adam a call over there at Ignite the Bite Charters. He can get you on them. But that's one of it laying in his live well with the bait. I mean, that's just a
fatten him up.
Yeah. Monster fish. So great job there. All right. That's all I had.
I'm not saying during the tournament I would put a fish in my live well if I had one with other bait to give it a couple more ounces, but I would consider it.
Eat, damn it, eat.
Yeah, Cliff, I know you'd like that. What I was going to say, I got to find a way to do it, but we should probably save all of ours to the Panhandle Fishing Report. So maybe we'll get more out of it.
We can just start scroll that way and do one.
We could. It's harder because we find so many different ones because you and I are in different things, but
that's not so bad. Oh, I thought we were going to talk about that and I totally spaced it.
This?
No. The other thing I saw. But anyway, go ahead. No, you're good.
One? That one?
The one above it. The one above it.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Hence why we do different scrolls. You guys know I'm a huge proponent of EKGMA. EKGMA Tools also has an app. The one thing I do like is they do have a lot of x-ray pictures that will show you more about where the brain is, and it helps. It's different than EKGMA Federation. It's different than some of the other ones out there. I've just been using this one. I've been checking it out more and more. I've been enjoying it. But they've been doing a lot of other x-rays to kind of help you figure out where the brain spike actually goes to try to make it a lot easier. I know it's not simple. Believe me, I have seen fish. If you fish with me, you've seen it flop. In case you missed it, yes, Fish Bites is going to be doing a bass style series tournament, and it's going to be in different locations. It's going to be a lot of fun. More information coming from it. You can take a look at Fish Bites page here. They got a lot of pieces on there. Yes, there is a very good chance that you will see Team Smitty, Team Demo out there having their own fun and enjoying things, also competing against some other really amazing anglers. Just got to beat Barry. That's all.
I just want that invitation to the invitational. I want to
Just
rack up the
yep.
points so I can get to the invitational.
Yep.
This
This is the
boom.
video.
Yeah, it's a part of it. Yeah.
It's like watching the dog, like that has the one that does the ball with
Mhm.
he had it on the stick. It's like
Yeah.
watching the dog run with it. Where are you going? What are you
Yeah.
doing? It totally makes sense. This was a really good underwater footage, and I'm a huge fan of, as you saw, he just picked it up and is going with it. The hook's not even in there, but that's one another thing, you know. That's
Well,
all about fishing. Some
that's how they'll get hooked in the pectoral
oh
though.
oh, there it is. He got it in his mouth. But
Did
that
he?
sort of thing right there. Yeah, he got it in his mouth. Oh, the hook's outward though. See it? I just saw it
Yeah.
right by the
Boom.
dorsal
It should drop again
or the
maybe.
peck. And there's his buddy, the remora, you know, the one I always catch. So underwater footage is great. There's a lot of guys and gals that are doing it on social to be able to follow and learn from. It can give you some valuable intel on things and how underwater works. I mean, you can't really tell until you do it, right? Bun, showing how it's done as usual. He's just getting after it, man. Nice trout, big old vampire, just getting after it in his skiff. Bun does a lot of great stuff. Excellent angler to follow for knowledge, especially if you're trying to get on trout, flounder. Dude's got a lot. He's really, really good. There's the other 18-incher you were discussing
Yep.
out of Okaloosa, another beautiful flounder. And hey, go out there and talk to people. They'll tell you how to do it, what they're doing, how they're doing things. This is the way to talk to people. And if you're not following Okaloosa Island Pier, I highly recommend it because they're not just giving you fishing reports, they actually do some teaching on there. So there's a lot of really good stuff. Brock doing the things that Brock does. Nice day out fishing. Brock's always got some good stuff. His charter business is doing very well, and he's doing a lot of fun things. So if you're out in that way in Panama City, another great option to go out with.
It looked like he ventured into the boat world.
He did.
Yeah.
He's just growing up. Yeah, he is. Sheep. Oh, that was Brock's again. I double saved Brock. Oops. Yeah, it's all good. He's a great guy.
He is.
Look at them little toddler teeth. Oh.
I know, right?
Think about this. Now, the mouth is like that. There's a reason that we've heard us talk about the hook having to go a certain way and how it's hard. Jack's got tons of videos on it, Yakking with Jack. Lots of great knowledge on him and Lawless's page when it comes to these. Take a look at some of the things that they're doing and listen to the tips. If you want to catch sheepies, they're great pieces of knowledge there to learn from. So lots of good stuff out there. One of the things I didn't learn from the beginning when I was trying to do it, I always thought you just dropped the thing down and you waited. And then you waited. Then you waited. And then I learned, no, dumb, you got to pull it up a little. Then you put it down a little. Yeah, lots of good stuff there. So nice one. Nice one, Brock. Coastal again. They have, that is not the post that it was supposed to be, but I like what they did with the webpage. Yeah, that's pretty. Hey, who's that guy? Who's this handsome devil? It ain't me.
Who that?
Who that? Who that?
Frank.
Frank. Getting after it. Frank's been having some really good stuff lately. He's been getting out, getting some good fishing done. Had just dropped another video recently. It was really good. It was a good tribute out there to Ron. Hooked up there. Come on. Going faster. I like this. They came down. Yeah, I just want to hook up some fish. Yep. And they did.
They caught some fish.
They caught some fish. That's not a bad day. I think it was the Vipers. Personally, the Vipers always help people catch fish. I'll never wear them, but it's still good. And hey, what is this doing here? Where are you lost? Did you forget what day, what year it is here, guy? What month? It's December. You're not supposed to be here. But yeah, David got him. And look at that. Pure excitement. That's what it's all about right there. Core memories made. Always fun to follow and good stuff. So congratulations. Excellent catches. And that completes my scroll.
There you go. Awesome. Ace Frehley posted a great beginner sheep hit video today. Oh, Frehley. Ace Frehley. I'm like, what? The guitarist from Kiss? The Starman is out here. Fishing.
Oh, man.
Good stuff.
Well, again, I'm sorry about the late start, everybody. That was completely my fault. I had a lot of problems with the computer. Again, it is Sunday at 7, not 7:30 or later than like that we started. Sorry about that.
It's all good. Yeah, Donnie pointed out those were blackfin that Robert caught out there.
Oh, okay.
On on his page. When we brought that up, make sure we didn't miss anybody else.
Cliff, not the guy we know, not that guy.
Yeah, not that guy. The other guy.
He actually got out this weekend though. He texted me. He was he asked me if I wanted to. Yeah, he did. He had a rod, decided wanted to go be a scuba diver for a little while. He got it back, thankfully. But yeah, it wasn't. He was like, "This was not a fun day." I was like, "Well, did you get it back?" He's like, "I got it back." I'm like, "Okay, that's all that matters."
Yeah, stuff happens.
It always does.
Appreciate everybody sticking around, watching, hanging out with us tonight. Hope you learned something. A lot of information passed. If not, go back and rewatch it, and I'm sure you'll pick up a tip on tomorrow. Tuesday at 9 a.m. or Thursday at 6 p.m. And then on Wednesdays, I think it's going to be episode 2 this week, as we're reloading to YouTube, putting all our videos back there, and you'll see. I mean, we've come a long way going.
It's
back
gonna be weird.
Those.
I don't know if I can watch the old ones.
It is very like the very first one when I started rewatching it the other day when I was loading it up and I had it going, and the audio and everything. It's just yeah. I was in the camper and hanging out there, and and just it's a lot of stuff. So it's cool to see the evolution as we've grown.
We're getting professional.
I know.
Before you know it, we'll have a sound person doing in the background. Sunday. We'll have everything all done up.
Nice. Awesome. Well, until next Saturday or Sunday night. See, I almost screwed it up.
7. Turn your live notifications on.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. 1900 Central
Time. We'll be on. So until next week, we'll see you.